G'day guys, Nate here coming at you with the round 15 preview of Collingwood's clash against Port Adelaide Saturday night at the MCG, 7:35 p.m. start. We're back, we're back, and we're back. The AFL, the VFL, and the VFLW, Collingwood's VFL side taking on Frankston Friday night at Kinetic Stadium in Frankston. That's also a 7:35 p.m. start. They'll be up on the AFL website, not on KO or TV, unfortunately. That's a tough opponent there in Frankston over there. Collingwood's VFLW side also taking on Essendon at Windy Hill, 11:05 a.m. Saturday, June 20th. And Saturday nights is Collingwood Port Adelaide at the MCG. This is probably the best possible opponent we could have in regards to returning from the bye and also trying to salvage something in 2026 and getting back on the winners list. This is not a guaranteed win right here. This is going to be a decent contest. We can't rule out Port Adelaide. They've had 5 losses by under 3 points or 3 points or less in 2026. Ethical tanking is what they're calling it. But I was able to watch Port Adelaide for the first time in pretty much 18 months. Well, the last time I watched a full Port Adelaide game was our 91-point win over them last year. So had a bit of time to finally sit down and watch Port Adelaide, what they stand for and what they're all about. They're actually a solid side. I can't believe they're in the bottom four, 4 wins, 9 losses. They're not far off us right now. They are very capable of beating us here at the MCG, so we can't take Port Adelaide lightly. In the last 3 games we've played Port Adelaide at the MCG, we've thumped them 2023, 2024, and 2025. Those performances where you put the feet up and relax sort of thing, Collingwood back on the winners list and bouncing back in style, far cry from what I'm expecting for Saturday against Port Adelaide. This will be a challenge for us. It's also an opportunity to show, and I keep saying this on a weekly basis for every time we do these previews, but this is a big chance for Collingwood to announce themselves and just show something, stand for something. And I also said this regarding our games against Essendon and Carlton earlier in the season, where we stood here with very little to gain, but a lot to lose. This time around, Port Adelaide, Richmond, our next 2 games, very little to gain, but an opportunity to show the competition we are still alive. We still have what it takes, but a lot to lose. If we lose against Port Adelaide, or we win against Port Adelaide and lose against Richmond, or we lose here and beat Richmond or whatever, there's really no point. We got Gold Coast up there. They look shaky, but I think they'll get a win in the next 2 games to get back on the winners list. And they would still be the favourites even if they lose the next 2 games. But just like I said at the start of the season, we are a team that can take it to the best sides but lose to these bottom sides. Here we are now in 13th spot, and we still have that sort of mentality and attitude where we can beat the best teams or take it to them, but can also lose or get threatened by the worst teams. And we're just that middling side right now. And I just want something to differ, something to change. Even if it means for the worst, at least I'd know, hey, this is what we are in 2026. We move on. We look to the kids. We look to free agency in the trade period. Or we get on the winners list. We get on a run. We go up the ladder. And we could be just like Brisbane from 2 years ago. Get up that ladder, have a win streak, go our way, and then we push on. But it starts here against Port Adelaide. Tough opponent. They're pretty much, and I hate to say this, to insult them, but they are the Kmart Collingwood, all right? The way they play, the way they set up, they are a better midfield side compared to us, but they've also got a very good key defender, Alir, or Irish key defender, Oli. But their midfield is better compared to ours, and I even think their forward line, the targets, they're a lot better. Mitch Georgiades, he's an A grader, possibly a B grader, whatever you want to rank him as. But Mitch Georgiades is a lot better compared to any of our key forwards right now. But we're back into the thick of things, and just an update on our injury list. Braden Maynard, no timeline on Braden Maynard, but he's ruled out for the Port Adelaide game. Still no timeline on Darcy Moore. Not happy about that. Hopefully they provide something, because I'm starting to get a little bit worried about Darcy Moore, lesser extent Braden Maynard. But Joel Cochran is available. Bit of a big call if he makes his AFL debut here without Darcy Moore. We do need a key defender or two. Will Hayes, Noah Howes progressing from their shoulder injuries, and obviously Jamie Elliott, Oscar Steen, and Reef McInnes out for the seasons with their knee injuries. So Braden Maynard, at least one change from King's birthday. And that's another thing as well. Whatever changes we make here, I wouldn't be surprised if it's another 3, 4, or 5 changes, but whatever changes are done here, that's the last of it. The only changes I want to see are predominantly injuries. If there's a lot of injuries, fair play, but I don't want to see this chopping and changing of the side too much anymore. Stick to a plan, stick to your best 23 and run with it. Just the consistency in the side. That's going to go a long way to getting ourselves back into season 2026. Consistency with the best 23. get these wins, keep the best 23 you've got. Unless there's someone kicking the door down at VFL level, then you can call them up, then you can put them in the mix. But we need to be stable with our best 23. None of this chopping and changing 3, 4, 5 changes. Injuries are fair enough, but omissions. It goes to show if you're omitting these players on a weekly basis, you don't know what the best 23 is, Craig McRae. And because of that, we're unsure of ourselves on the field when the game actually arrives. Final quarters, goes to show we are unsure of ourselves in the final quarters. We don't win close games anymore, and we get what we deserve. So it has to change here against Port Adelaide. And just with comparing the pair with Port Adelaide's, a lot of even comparisons. Again, Kmart Collingwood, Prison Bar Wankers, whatever you want to call Port Adelaide. They are a decent side. They are a very good bottom four side right now. We are neck and neck, unreal for points for and against. We are both bottom six for points for, but we're top four for points against. Port slightly ahead for points for and against. Port, again, they are the better midfield side compared to us, but they're not too dominant in the midfield. Hitouts, contested possessions, clearances. It's a side that we can break even in for key metrics against Port Adelaide: hitouts, contested possessions, clearances, disposals. The pressure stats go Collingwood's way. That's to be expected. Port Adelaide third in the competition for turnovers. So that's a big chance right there for Collingwood to exploit Port Adelaide in. We typically dominate teams when, or force turnovers and make them pay on turnovers, scoring from their turnovers. Hasn't been the case in 2026, but it's still an identity for Collingwood. So there's a chance there. Force a turnover, make them pay on turnovers. But the two main strengths for Port Adelaide in 2026 so far is in regards to their forward 50 entries, locking it inside 50 for their marks inside 50 and their efficiency inside 50. Tall targets up forward. They've got stars in the midfield. Zach Butters, we'll talk about him later in the season. Jason Horne-Francis playing a hybrid role right now and playing very well so far, underrated. Willem Drew will tag Nick Dacos, that's a given. Jace Burgoyne on the wing as well. Jordan Sweet, underrated in the ruck. So quite simply, we cannot take Port Adelaide lightly across any areas of the ground. Otherwise, they will dominate and kill us in the midfield, up forward, in the back line as well. I'm not expecting another put the feet up and relax sort of win against Port Adelaide at the MCG, but a decent win, a win, getting back on the winners list. That's all I care about. Get back on the winners list. This is the sort of performance and the sort of win to push on. And just with the recent history with Port Adelaide, we do lead the overall head-to-head, 21 wins, 18 losses, no draws. I'll mention no draws because I can't afford or stand another draw in 2026. 9 wins, 7 losses at the MCG, leading the overall head-to-head and also the overall head-to-head at the MCG. We've won the last 5 games against Port Adelaide. 4 of those have been at the MCG, 1 at Adelaide Oval. 6-point win in 2022 at the MCG. I think it was 3 or 4 points. Adelaide Oval, Jamie Elliott set shot with 3 minutes to go. And the other 3 games, we've just dominated Port Adelaide at the MCG. That's what I'm hoping for, but I wouldn't expect it to occur, unfortunately. Port Adelaide, 27 wins, 1 draw, 32 losses in games played at the MCG. But the fun fact, or the weird stat in 2026 for both of us, Collingwood, 3 wins, 1 draw, 5 losses in games played or decided by 15 points or less this year. Port Adelaide, 1 win, 6 losses in games played or decided by 15 points or less. And Collingwood, 1 win, 1 draw, 3 losses in games played or decided by 6 points or less. Port Adelaide, 1 win, 5 losses in games played, decided by 6 points or less. I do a redo for games played or decided part, but fuck it, you get what I'm trying to say. And the last time we played Port Adelaide, we won by 91 points, 21-10, 136 to Port Adelaide, 6-9, 45. And what I liked about our win against Port Adelaide last year was we came off a 52-point loss to the Giants in opening round. People wrote us off straight away. So to come back and bounce back and dominate Port Adelaide, I'm not expecting it yet again. I keep saying that, but just the way we were able to respond and bounce back, that's what I'm hoping for, all right, in this sort of performance against Port Adelaide. Doesn't have to be a 91-point win. Doesn't have to be a 10-goal win. A 5-goal win would be great. It's going to be a close game. We're going to cringe. Collingwood fans, Port Adelaide fans, we're going to cringe if it's going to be a close game. We don't know how to win close games, all right? And it might lead to a draw. If it leads to a draw, we both deserve it in the end. But I want to see that bounce back. We've got these losses against the Bulldogs, Melbourne, Sydney for that matter, Freo. We got smacked against Geelong. We've won 1 game from our last 6 games. We need to turn this around. It has to start here. And with the keys to victory for this game, the first key to victory, it's based off Port Adelaide's performance against Sydney, is strength in numbers. For us, we need to work together as a team. Port Adelaide do so. They've done this every game. After their round 1 loss against North Melbourne, they were able to turn around and bounce back. They're 4 wins, 9 losses, and they've got a percentage above 100. In the bottom four, they know what they're doing. They know what it takes to beat these sides. They just haven't executed in that. But we can't take them too lightly. They know what it takes to beat us. They're going to study us. They know what they're set in for, or when they know what they're expecting. I like to throw them curveballs and whatnot, but for us, we need to stick to a game plan afterwards. All right. So whatever it takes to beat Port Adelaide, whatever it does, or whatever it works to beat Port Adelaide in regards to the moving of the magnets and just the gameplay and game plan or whatever. If it works here against Port Adelaide and dominates them, stick to it and use it for next week. But speaking of game plan, the second key to victory for us, do not blaze away heading inside 50. It didn't work against Melbourne, unfortunately. Depending on who we select for key forwards and whatever our forward line structure is, I'm expecting Tim Membry to be dropped or someone to be dropped from the key forwards. I'd rather it be Tim Membry over Mitch Badatsky or call up Charlie West or whatever. But whatever the key forwards are, again, you'll know about it in team selections final word video tomorrow night. But whatever it is for the key forwards, don't blaze away. We don't have that height up forward. So Ali is going to kill us. Kane Farrell right now is a better rebounding 50 halfback flanker compared to Dan Houston in 2026 and also for the past 2 years, unfortunately. So that's going to be turned around as well, whether it's nullifying Kane Farrell or for Dan Houston to step up against his old side and hopefully get that form back. That's what I'm hoping for here. But for us, just don't blaze away heading inside 50. Otherwise, Port Adelaide's going to kill us. Third key to victory, if scenario based, if we get a solid lead, kick on from it. Don't just hold on to the lead or just chip away or just milk the clock or whatever. Either kick on or if Port Adelaide mount a comeback, be able to hold on, all right? I'm sick of having these leads and blowing it away or we get a bit of a buffer and then they're able to get that quick response. That goes for working our asses off for 5 or 10 minutes, getting that goal, and then the opposition gets that centre clearance and get that quick response, the bounce back. All that hard work for nothing has to stop here. All our hard work needs to pay off. And the final key to victory, regardless of the margin or whatever, own the moment. Set shot conversion needs to be perfect. Heading inside 50 needs to be perfect. Center clearances needs to be perfect. Intercepts needs to be perfect. Finding targets needs to be perfect. Own a bloody moment. If it's going to be another close game, know what you're expecting, know what you're getting yourselves into, and we can't lose a close game to Port Adelaide. Please, I beg you, Collingwood, do not lose a close game to Port Adelaide. Otherwise, I'll be ropeable, I'll squeal, I'll be livid, and you'll hear from me first on Sunday morning. I don't want to lose a close game. I don't want to lose to Port Adelaide in general, but turn it around. We have the ability to turn it around. I'm keeping the faith. Stupidly naive, I know, but I'm keeping the faith in 2026. I've got this feeling we'll start our turnaround here against Port Adelaide. Richmond, we can put them to the wayside if we have a decent performance here against Port Adelaide. But I will bunch Port Adelaide, Richmond, Gold Coast, Carlton, North Melbourne together in regards to the next 5 games. Be prepared for these sides to play above their ladder position when they face us, unfortunately. That's just the way it is when they face Collingwood, but we've got decent records against Port Adelaide, Richmond, Carlton, North Melbourne, Gold Coast, not so much. So I am expecting 4 of the next 5 games to go Collingwood's way. Anything less, you can almost put a line through us, even though you should do that right now. But again, for me, I'm keeping the faith. I won't change your opinions, and I don't expect you to change mine. But when I'm proven wrong, or if it's time up or whatever, then I will be the first to put my hand up and go, right, it's over. Play the kids, look at the free agency trade period or whatever. But I've got faith we can turn it around. I've got faith we'll get back on the winners list against Port Adelaide. I've got faith players will turn their form around. I've got faith we'll have players stand up in key moments. I've got faith. Have ye of faith. I'll summarize that video and end it here. Have ye of faith. But I'll have the team selections final word video up Thursday night. I was hoping to have a video up on Friday night before the VFL, but that won't be done, unfortunately. I'll make up for it next week. I'll figure it out. I've got a busy week next week, but I'll try and figure it out, make up for it. I'm hoping you guys have had a good week so far. Please be well, please be safe, and I'll see you guys Thursday night for the team selections final word video. Up the pies.